This is a wonderful question because, as you already know, the perception of the human is very different than perception of others. Whether there are animals on your planet, or whether there are other humans on your planet, or whether there are intelligent beings beyond your planet, the perception is vastly different. When we perceive others from our group, so let's first talk about things in terms of texture, in terms of energy, in terms of patterns, rather than form. So when you look at each other, humans, you mostly recognize each other by form. So this body of Yafi has this nose for form, these eyes, these cheeks, and that's the form that you recognize. In addition, of course, to the voice, which is also produced by the physical form of the vocal cords. So this is your main point of recognition, the physical world. When we recognize others, what we recognize is not the form, is the texture, the pattern. You can equate patterns to personality. You can equate texture to both personality and level of presence. So you would recognize Yafi differently if she texted you, if she called you on the phone, or if she had a Zoom session and you could see her. These are different levels of recognitions. Similarly, the texture and the pattern that we perceive can be very loud, very present, or very dim, very light. But the recognition is based on texture, patterns. You may even include colors in there, although it is not exactly. We can say that some beings are more blue in color or some are more yellow. However, these are both generalizations and also um, exaggeration, as those are human understanding of colors rather than energetic, in which colors are different and are more blended together. So you may look at a blue energy and with the blue see a full rainbow spectrum, or maybe see the blue but aware of other undertones. It's very difficult to describe in words. So what we recognize by the way it feels with all those other feelings, including color, texture, energetic loudness, patterns and shapes, etc., etc. And when we recognize one of our own, in our group, in our collective, it feels similar to when you touch yourself in comparison when somebody else touches you. When you touch yourself, there is a recognition of the body from the body of the body. Another example comes to mind, but we do not know how people will take it. But we'll say it very gently. When your body emits gases, it smells differently to you when it's your own gas or when it's other people's gas, right? So there is this familiarity, instinctive familiarity when it's your own. This is how it feels to us when threads or intelligences or beings from our own collective are interacting. There is that same sense of familiarity, not whether we know them or not, but the feeling that it is of us. Now, how do we perceive others? Others we perceive as not as completely external, as we perceive the integration points energetically. It's very fluid and there's a lot of interactions between us and others and each other. And because we do not have the physical form to limit us, we have a much broader awareness of those different interactions in different realms. So we can see and feel others, and you can see them again as energetic threads, almost like they're like you would see a tornado, right? This swirl, and one swirl attaches here, and one swirl goes there. And there are all these different threads, different swirls of energy interacting in different ways. And sometimes it is just the feeling of the interaction. And at other times, there is a perfect clarity of pattern, meaning that at different magnification points, there are the shape of the fractal or of the pattern, which is the actual fabric of the nature of your reality, is apparent. Again, at different magnification points. Yes, but it's like saying, let's say you're writing with your right hand. Does it mean that the left hand is left out? Is it out of the picture? Is it no longer a part of your body? Oh,
No.
it is simply not writing right now, and your right hand is writing. This is how it is when different, in terms of individuation from our collective. Because our awareness is so connected,
Yes.
whether someone, in quotation, is independently operating or we're operating as a group, the awareness stays the same. Just that you don't lose awareness of your left hand when your right hand is writing. It is not any less a part of your body because your right hand is writing.
Greetings.
Greetings to you.
Very excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for that.
Excitement.
Yes. So that explains your connection with your group. And then for us as humans who are increasing our awareness and honing our skills and abilities, allowing them to come more online. So
just
we're
like
familiar.
The fairy that you saw.
Yes, just like the fairy. So we're well aware of how we interact, relate to, and connect with other humans. And then, of course, like all of the things that we're seeing, Yafi and the things she has seen, the fairy flying by, there are a lot of things that come into my awareness, temperatures, sensations, energies that come in. And I have in the past recognized like your energy, and as opposed to Kali or Kuan Yin, I felt you in different places. So how do we increase that awareness and discern where it's coming from? Or I don't know how to formulate the question. Do you get where I'm going with that?
Perhaps let us attempt.
Okay.
So we have been warning you that you're going to see more and more etheric beings and multidimensional beings. We specifically talked about the fairies. As we know, this group is connected to nature and the fairies and other nature beings, which will gradually unveil their presence. So we have been warning you, we have been preparing you, and we are very happy that it has come to the threshold that more and more of you are coming online in that way. Coming online in that way merely means that if this the threshold between the dimensions, that your awareness is picking above that threshold. Awareness is not straight, it always moves. But now you're picking regularly above this threshold, allowing your perception to engage more and more with multidimensional beings. So now the question is, how do you discern? How do you know what is what? This has not changed from the past. We are still calling you to use your sensitivity to listen to your subtle senses. We are still reminding you again and again and again and again, and will infinitely remind you about grounding and about staying heart present. These two practices will help you more than anything else. As these higher energies begin to appear in your field, it's easier for you to not be grounded, not stay grounded. That is one of the reasons it's taking so long for certain things to appear to you, because your higher self and your team wants to ensure you are sufficiently grounded, both in your heart and in the physical, in the earth, for more and more to be of the veil to be able to open for you. Let us pause here and see if you want to have any follow-up or direct us in any specific way.
So yes, grounding, heart centering, being open and aware, keeping your frequency, as raising your frequency.
Be aware with who you spend time with and how much. As when you are at a certain state of frequency, if you are not grounded enough, it can be very easy for others unknowingly to feed off your energy. And it's for everyone. So once you reach a certain energy level or texture or signature, grounding becomes even more important. And that fluctuates depending on, we will use our usual terminology, where you are on the cycle. So like everything else, it has ebbs and flows and fluctuations. And in some points of the cycle, it's not as important to be grounded because it is maybe about expansion or about creativity or about other things. And then there are other parts of the cycle that's grounding becomes very, very, very important and significant. And when these spikes of awareness, of perception take place, like such as seeing fairies, such as calling orbs, and again, many others will unveil themselves, you are still being exposed, all of you, very, very gently. It's very important to stay grounded. Again, not only just in general, but so you do not find yourself losing your energy to anyone and everyone around you.
Very good. That was also has been an issue that's been coming up with people that are of lower frequency, holding negativity, even spiritual friends that have negative biases. I just can't.
There's a reason we're saying this to you. It is true that it applies to everyone, but it's never, when you ask a question and we answer you, yes, we make it applicable to everyone, but we wouldn't say it to you if we didn't specifically apply to you. And we will even add specifically from the last few days, even. And even friends, you mentioned friends that are spiritual. And we're happy that you made that addition, because one of our main comment to you that it's not necessarily the people that you would expect. Or, for example, we know there are some family members that are not spiritual and do not really get it. It doesn't mean that those people take away more energy than, let's say, a very spiritual friend who is whatever going through her own process. That doesn't, she may be taking even more energy from you than those non-spiritual family members. And this is just an example. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're most welcome. How are we doing on time?
I think we have 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Excellent. Let's move on to the last question then.
Greetings.
Greetings to you.
You shared today about the heart path and being grounded in our heart. Could you elaborate a bit more about the heart? Because, in the human body, it's a muscle, but it's obviously way more than that. And as you think about it in the different dimensions and the different meanings, what are, I guess, some things to watch out for? And, this is a broad question, but I experience my heart very vividly in sensations that feel less positive. And so just understanding on this heart path what's to be expected versus what's less healthy, it would be very helpful guidance.
Your question actually touches many, many different topics. So we'll take it in one direction and then we'll see where it goes from there. So the heart, there's some misunderstanding about the heart as the portal or the heart path. The heart is literally a gateway. It is not a coincidence that your physical heart is a pump. A pump doesn't create, a pump allows to flowing through it, right? And a pump directs how much, what, and how much flows through it. The heart portal is a portal, is a gateway. We use these words literally, not symbolically. So energy and consciousness flow through it. But like any pump, it also has filters within it. And so it doesn't just flow through it neutrally, but it has an impact on the energy that flows through it. So your heart, just like everybody else's, is a gateway of consciousness to flow in both directions. So when you talk about the physical heart and the sensations you feel with the physical heart, those directly represent the physical obstacles you have come here to experience and advance. For example, we'll give an example that is very general. People with high level of anxiety often experience heart palpitation. This is not a coincidence. Those people with this level of anxiety that experience heart palpitation to the level that they are preoccupied with it and concerned about it and spend time dealing with it are people that fear and anxiety are crucial to their life purpose, life lesson, and why they are on earth today. So when you experience something that has to do with the heart, whether it's constriction, or palpitations, or heartache, these are not just symbolic, these are actual physiological, energetic, and mental, but they're all true happenings that reflect some of your most important life lessons, specifically in this lifetime.
Thank you. And as you address those heart sensations and people working through them, are there any modalities that you generally recommend to work on the heart across its various streams?
Yes, so we always recommend breathing through the heart. And this is similar to what Yafi teaches in the light language course, but there is a specific heart breathing. There are several of them that you can do. Specifically, we will recommend inhaling into the back of the chest as if you're pulling the energy into the heart from the back, and exhaling out the front of the chest. This is a specific breath practice that we recommend. Now, all these practices are merely aids to help you cope with everything that comes up. So, really, the best thing that you can do for yourself is allow whatever comes up to come up without losing sovereignty and structural energetic integrity to your field and to you as a person. So that means if whenever things come up, whether external or internal, being able to hold those things without suppressing them, but without making stories about them, without misunderstanding them, without being angry, sad, or disappointed with yourself that they're coming up, being able to be aware of them, again, without all those other mechanisms that can kick in, is the ultimate path to healing, awareness, then acceptance, then loving, compassionate integration. So being
Thank you.
able to hold your field is primary. Secondary are different tools that can help you with that. And yes, the breath is crucial on many, many levels. Some of them are understood by humans or humanity as a whole, and others have not yet been discovered or understood. So the breath has gifts or properties that are not yet included in human understanding, but of course, that is changing as your understanding is expanding literally every moment.
Thank you.
And with this, we will share one last brief light language energy closing, and then bring you your Yafi back. Andaria karania turusto hom 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 hom. Harakariani hatariana ta 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 ha ha hai. Huromate kare hani etaro hom hom hom. Huromate ratiena hom 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 hom. Ukoranate rastiena turu omanakara astiena. Uroma akas. Now, hold in your mind, hold in your heart the type of contact you would like to bring more into your life.